All right, guys, so this morning I was at the gym on the treadmill and I looked up at the TV to see that CNN was talking about Let's Go Brandon. Okay, now this was a very, very, very exciting moment for me because I've been telling you guys for a long time, I'm like, it's going to eventually reach mainstream liberal media and they are going to throw a hissy fit over it, right? They're going to talk about how this is hateful, right? How there needs to be civility in politics again and yada, 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 right? Basically after flat out ignoring all of the hateful speech and rhetoric that came from the left under the Trump administration. But yeah, lo and behold, their reaction was exactly what you would expect. Take a look.
Let's check out something that we saw on the House floor, which is a Republican member of Congress wearing a mask that says, "Let's go, Brandon." This is South Carolina Congressman Jeff Duncan. And for the uninitiated, this stems from a crowd at a NASCAR race yelling F Joe Biden, but it was during the speech of the winner, Brandon Brown, and a commentator thought that the crowd was saying, "Let's go, Brandon." So this is really just a substitute for F Joe Biden. And you have a member of the House wearing this on the floor.
I think it's a natural evolution from where we've been going over most of this past year, which has been basically, whatever comedy that the Biden folks hoped was going to be there in Congress, hoping that the fever, quote unquote, as they put it, was going to break after Trump, was not going to break. That Trump has these diehard supporters, and there are people who, frankly, are not in Congress at this point to legislate. They're in Congress to troll, and they're in Congress to get attention, and they're in Congress to basically attack and not to do something that involves working with other lawmakers. And that's what you see. I mean, there's nothing serious about this. This is literally done so that he will get attention, and it's working. It's just that it involves being on the House floor, which once upon a time was supposed to be something more of a respected space, and a space that was treated differently. And as we saw on January 6th, there are plenty of people who don't see it that way.
This is a single entendre, by the way. You explained it very well, what "Let's Go Brandon" means, but it's just a mask that says F Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. That's what it's doing, and that's from a U.S. congressman on the House floor.
Yes, it's a huge breach of a norm that you would, I don't even know how to describe this as a norm, because this is just something that I never would have even imagined somebody was going to be doing, was wearing a mask with that message. But again, the goal is all about agitating. The goal is all about getting people upset. That's the point. I think there's that Adam Serwer column about the cruelty is the point. The trolling is the point too, and that's where we're at now. But again, as you say, we are talking about a sitting congressman.
I told y'all that CNN would get triggered, right? It is so predictable what their reaction would be to this. It was so predictable. Okay, you see the little banner at the bottom. It says "hate in politics." Okay, trying to imply that "Let's Go Brandon" is some form of hate speech, right? This is how the media plays games. This is how they play games. They got this sober tone, like, this is just beyond the pale. This is just so out of line. The House floor is so sacred. These Congress members, they shouldn't be doing this. Biden administration, he thought it was going to be calm. However, you have some people, the GOP, just like January 6th, they show they don't have any respect for the House or the position that they're in, right? This is the narrative that they're going with here, which again was entirely predictable. But this was the same network that purposely or accidentally aired a crowd chanting F Trump after the election last year.
Full coverage here continues with myself and Anderson.
Right, and if that's not enough, let's actually compare CNN's coverage of Rashida Tlaib saying "impeach the MFer" in reference to Trump back when she was a freshman in Congress. Take a look.
Newly sworn in Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib under fire this morning for comments that she made calling for President Trump to be impeached. Listen.
And when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the motherfucker."
All right, we're back with David Gregory, MJ Lee, and Alex Burns. MJ, she knows that people are holding cameras up like this, taping it. So this wasn't like a hot mic moment. Right. This was a message. And I think that you can hear already that a lot of the freshman class is filled with vim and vigor, as my euphemism for something else. And so will we see some flame throwing? I mean, is this a style that they're coming to Washington with that they think will be effective?
I mean, probably. And, particularly on the impeachment issue, yes, this is not the kind of language that we're used to hearing from sworn-in members on Capitol Hill. However, we do know that the issue of impeachment is one that people around the country think about. And obviously, especially for the critics and people who are not supporters of the president, they do get worked up about this issue. And Democratic members who are running for office or are already in politics, they know that this is an important way to sort of rally the base and is a way to get supporters excited. And I think it's not a mistake that a new member of Congress on the very first day on the job would talk about this issue. I don't know that using that kind of language is necessarily advisable. But yes, expect members of Congress to be talking about impeachment sort of nonstop for the next year.
All right, guys, so you see the stark difference, okay? The banner at the bottom of the screen doesn't say hate in politics. Rashida Tlaib says impeach the MFer, right? They're not showing that. They're not trying to tee that up as hate speech, right? They bring on a contributor that's not going to condemn it, but it's going to be like, well, this is just what they got to do to get their supporters excited. Right? I don't know if that language is advisable, but they're just trying to get their supporters excited. Okay, that's just what it's about. That's all it's about. It's about impeachment, right? As if it's harmless, right? Impeach the MFer. But let's go, Brandon, though. Hate in politics, right? I can't believe this is being worn on a mask of a congressman on the House floor. Can't believe it. Again, there's no profanity in the phrase, right? Yeah, it might mean something profane, but there is no profanity there. But that, again, they're trying to tee that up already as hate speech, right? That's what they're trying to do. And this is why CNN and liberal media, that's why they're propaganda networks. When they say they're unbiased and nonpartisan, no, this is clearly partisan hackery, right? And it's not like they don't know who they're bringing on as a contributor to the segment. They know what those people are going to say. That's why they bring them on to say it. But hey, you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised whatsoever, right? It's just, like I said before, this was going to catch on the mainstream media, and I just couldn't wait to CNN start covering it because I knew that they would get triggered by it. And hey, lo and behold, they're triggered. They're triggered. But again, I just find the contrast between the coverage when Rashida Tlaib said something, in my opinion, that was a whole lot worse. I just find it interesting how that was treated with kid gloves. But for whatever reason, Let's Go Brandon all of a sudden deserves the banner of hate in politics, right? Hate in politics. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, again, these are the same people, the left, that, said F Trump, Trump this, Trump that, said so many bad things about Trump, right? So many things that can be defined as hateful against Trump. And now all of a sudden, the right is having a little fun. The left is getting a little taste of their own medicine because Biden's doing so bad, right? If he wasn't doing so bad, this meme wouldn't even be catching on like that, and now they want to get butthurt and triggered by and talk about civility in politics. Again, should have found that civility over the past 4 years, right? Don't come crying about it now. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.